February 17th, 2026. I'm in Norwich, Connecticut. Currently driving up Plain Hill Road. And I want to take a drive by this large area that they're clearing to build an industrial park. I don't know if we can get a glance at it or not with the car. I'm gonna pull over at a road up here because I got some guy right on my tail, and I'm just gonna shake him off up here at this Sabrina's Court. Private road, no outlet. Wow. They're obviously building a brand new house. New construction on Sabrina's Court. So, private road. Interesting. So I'm going to assume there's other building lots up here. It's 4:23 p.m. I don't have a ton of time. There's a nice house right there on Sabrina's Court. But it's 39 degrees. The snow is starting to melt at a decent pace this past week. We got a little rain coming, I think, in a couple of days, so that might, that's going to accelerate the melting and everything of the snow and the washing away. So definitely looking forward to that. I want this, personally, from my point of view, I want this snow gone. Right now it's nothing but trouble. All right, so we're back on Plain Hill Road. We're going to drive up, and I'm going to cruise by that section. Like I said, there's some kind of a giant industrial park. Now, to the left, down Stott Avenue, if I took a left down there, there's a massive industrial park that covers an enormous amount of territory over there. They're building another one up, where I'm heading now. Now, I don't know. The thing is, I'm not sure if we can get a look at this this property because, I don't know if there's anywhere to point this, unless I can back in somebody's driveway or something. Wow. To the right of me is, and to the left, there's a lot of, I don't know what's going on. If it's raining in the distance, if that's the case, we're in trouble. But it's, I don't know, foggy or something. It could be because the snow is melting. If it's the vapor. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm speculating here, but as I look to my left, you can see to your right. Oh, I'm sorry, as I look to my right, you can see to your right, it's a bit hazy. Normally it would be those trees in the background there would be crystal clear. So I don't know. I'm going with the working theory that it's melting, evaporation, and that type of thing over a massive swath of land, hundreds of acres. So Plain Hill Road, this leads up to what is the name of that road? It's not Whitman Avenue. Okay, to the left here we have Farmview Drive. Beautiful homes down there. But the name of the road up here is, well, we're going to find out real soon. White Plains Road, I believe. But there's acres and acres and acres and acres of land up on Plain Hill Road. I mean, as far as the eye can see, when you're back there, maybe a half a mile, you look to the right, you look to the left, it's, you know, endless. Real good view, by the way. So yeah, White Plains Road. Let's cruise down here. And I think I'm going to be taking my first left. I'm not 100% sure about whether it's my first or second left. We'll see momentarily. All right, somewhere up here. All right, there it is. Let's hone in on this. I think they're clearing the area where the industrial park is going to, you know, the buildings and everything are going to be built. And boy, definitely a tough time of year to do it. I mean, with that big snowstorm we had, that really, you know, negatively impacted the work that's being done. I mean, it's just, you know, throws a big time wrench into the gears of smooth sailing prior to this, as you can see, snowstorm that we had a while back now. But all right, now let me keep my eyes open here. To the left, it's always been wide open. That's a, you know, farm. I mean, it's a pretty cool view. I'd love to back in. Let me back in, get a... This is kind of cool. You know, part of me hates doing this because it's not my property, but look at that. I mean, that's just, you know, I don't know how many acres it is, but boy, that's significant. I could probably look at Google Earth or something and take a look at the, you know, the how many square miles or whatever it is, if there's an acre, you know, estimation. So I think I might be in Baltic right now. There's a sign back there that said Baltic, so. All right, there's a giant logging, or, you know, a truck that's hauling off. Oh, wow. Yeah, well, I'm not going to be able to point this camera over there to the right. I mean, they are clearing out a massive area. You can see some of the logs and stuff to the right there. You know, tree clearing. Man, would I love to... I guess I could come up here on foot. Let me back into this guy's driveway, see if I can... See if you guys can get a glance. I mean, I'm taking a slight chance. It's going to be way in the distance. You're not going to get a good view. No, you can't see it. But, I mean, you can see some of the activity that's going on right now with the clearing of the property. I mean, I'd have to come up with a conventional walk-around camera, and to be honest with you, there's no... Where am I going to park? I mean, there's literally nowhere to park. I'd have to... Well, I don't know how I would... Unless I park somewhere and walk miles. I'm on School Hill Road right now, so this has to be Baltic. Or Occum, or, you know... We're out of Norwich, there's no doubt about that. So, I don't know. I just got a quick shot of that. I'm catching up to that that guy, that truck in front of us hauling off all those logs. Let's get right behind this guy. Wow. So they're going to be hauling out, massive amounts of really premium. I don't know what they're going to do with it. I mean, that's hardwood right there, a lot of it. I mean, look at that. It's absolutely flawless. But all that clearing is just the opening salvo of what is going to be a large industrial park. Let's get right in front of this. I mean, I will get right smack up on this guy. Whoa, let's get a side view. Okay, this was worth it right here. All right, there's oak trees, and I'm trying to see, there's birch, oak. I mean, that's valuable stuff right there. St. Mary's Church right over here, St. Joseph's, I don't know, school or something back there. Academy of the Holy Family. Flatiron building over there. I always like that. Driving over Beaver Brook right now. I'll lay back a little bit. This truck is throwing up some water. And I don't want that to get on the lens, obviously. There's another good shot of this thing. All right, let's see. Beaver Brook, we're going over that again. Resident State Trooper to my right. A lot of mill houses in here. This is Main Street. This has to be Baltic. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but... Or maybe Sprague. Baltic is part of Sprague. I'm not 100% sure of all the different configurations and all this. All right, there's a sign up here. Let me pull over, get some of that. There's another guy riding my tail. What does this say right here? There's a skating pond. Sprague, welcome to the town of Sprague. Ice skating pond, open to the public. My understanding is they don't want anybody skating right now because it's unsafe. It was safe. It is no longer safe. Babe Blanchette Memorial Field. To my right. I'm going to go back. I mean, I got some time to kill here before the sun goes down too far to make this unfilmable, but let's cruise right down Main Street again. They have the streets very wisely labeled. 1st Street, 2nd Avenue. Let me see the next one. It's got to be 3rd Avenue. Next one down here is, wow, River Street. So they kind of broke up the numbering system there. All right, let me get a look at some. Okay, yeah, this is Sprague Community Center. So, North Franklin to the left, Scotland and Hanover to the right. So there's, I mean, it says Baltic Wine and Spirits, and I'm in Sprague. So if you put 2 and 2 together, Baltic is part of Sprague. I'm on Scotland Road right now. I'm going to take a, let's see, let me take a right. There's the Baltic Fire Engine Company, right? Let me pull up to this thing. Right there. I hope we can get it in. That's the Baltic Fire Department right there. Apparently, if I go straight, this is going to bring me to Jewett City. Wow. Modern construction up here. Stockhouse building. Really cool building to the left. Modern construction is going to have offices where the YMCA, the old former YMCA in Norwich, is now. They're working on it. And it's probably going to be done this, I would say, I mean, they're really moving rapidly now. Probably this spring or summer, definitely. And then Modern Construction is going to have offices there. Whether they're moving from that location back there down to the YMCA, I don't know. Or they're just, another office. It's probably, that information is probably available. I'm on Bushnell Hollow Road at the moment. And there is a railroad crossing up here. Let's hope everything's functioning properly so I don't get hit by a train, because that would be kind of unfortunate. I mean, it'd probably make for some real good video, but that might go viral. But I kind of don't want it to happen, so let's keep cruising up Bushnell Hollow Road and see what this does for us. A peaceful, relaxing New England drive. Mid-February 2026. A very hilly, windy road, Bushnell Hollow Road. Speed limit's 30 miles an hour. I mean, that seems very reasonable. And somebody else is quickly, very, very quickly coming up on my back bumper. I mean, they're right on top of me. Well, guess what? You're going to have to deal with it, man, because I'm a well, wait a minute here. What is this? This looks like a pretty cool thing to explore. Whoa, Sprague Rod and Gun Club. Interesting. Didn't know the Sprague Rod and Gun Club was up here. Right there. Established 1924. This thing's been around for a long time. I mean, if I see a landmark... Whoa, there's a different road up here. I can't take that. It's just going to bring me back to Baltic. So let's keep cruising down. What do we have over here? Pure Connecticut maple syrup. I think they make their own back there. You tap your maple trees and kind of fills up the bucket with maple syrup. You cook it, or there's a whole technique. All right, decision time. Do I want to go to Versailles? Do I want to go to... I don't know. I think I'll keep going straight. Versailles, Versailles. I mean, people pronounce it differently. Train tracks to the right. I mean, that's pretty cool. White snow with 2 train tracks cutting right through it. So this is still Bushnell Hollow Road. Interesting. 4:42 p.m. Perfect conditions for recording video. You know, one of these drives that I do. Nice soft light. I mean, this is just ideal conditions. A beautiful snowy hill to my left over there. Now that's a hill. If you could, you know, it's private property, I would assume, a farm or something. But if you could slide with a sled or, you know, whatever you got, toboggan, you know, old school, that hill back there would be absolutely killer. Lisbon? I'm not 100% sure where I am right now. It says Lisbon. If I cross that line over there, let me take a right, see what's factory entrance ahead. All right, there's a factory up here. When I say up here, I'm not 100% sure what up here. Okay, I've been here. Amgraph. These things come on you quick. Look at that big... I don't know what it is. You know, it's a great scene. We got a... The sun is trying to break through the misty clouds. And then you get this big amgraph. I don't know what it is. It's a big giant globe on top of a huge pillar of some kind. All right, I gotta get out of here. I don't want people getting suspicious. Hey, who's the guy outside driving around with a camera on his car? It's not gonna look good. I mean, that's sun. This camera's not gonna do anything to capture what I'm seeing. But there's so much mist or fog or whatever it is up there I was talking about earlier that it literally looks like a solar eclipse situation. So apparently this is, I don't know. I don't know what they make. Wow, there's a really nice old train to the left over there. Wow, that's kind of a real photo op. Right over there. I don't know what the store is. Is that a working, you know, those working cars for a train? I have no idea. Very interesting. Headquarters and production facility. It doesn't say what they make there. Wow, there's some kind of a giant cement container of some kind to the right there. I don't think that's kind of a relic. Somehow I don't think that's operational right now. I mean, I don't know for a fact that it doesn't serve some kind of a function currently, but it looks pretty old. This is Versailles Road. This is going to end up being one of these videos that I may have to put in the category of a relaxing New England winter drive, because I'm kind of out in the middle of nowhere. And I'll just keep rolling down the road. At least I'm capturing, you know, beautiful countryside footage. The only part of it that's not beautiful is the snow that gets very dirty from all the everything, exhaust and just dirt. That's kind of a buzzkill when that happens, and it happens rapidly. The snow falls, everything looks great for a day or two, and then it falls off a cliff and starts looking terrible. So, okay, we're coming into Versailles. Sprague, village of Versailles. Okay, now I'm starting to get a handle on where we are. That's the stone, well, it used to be the stone house. Straight ahead. Let me slow down. There's nobody behind me. Now it's called JD's Roadhouse to the right. I'm on Main Street. The Dark Manor. That's like a Halloween place. You know, real scary. Occum. Okay, we're crossing into Occum. Going over the Shetucket River right now. So now I am crossing into Norwich right now. Let me take a left. I mean, this is Occum. Occum package store to my right, Occum pizza to my left. You know, I tell you, Occum Fire Department to my left. Occum, the layout, this strip, this is Taftville Occum Road, this strip, and when I was back in Sprague over there, I mean, they're very similar feel. I mean, the only difference is Sprague or, you know, Baltic, whatever back there, had all those mill houses. That's the only difference. But they feel the same. I mean, I would be confused if I wasn't, you know, from around here and I drove on both roads. I would think that I was on the same exact, you know, Main Street, Sprague, and what I just rolled through back there. It's almost identical. Taftville Occum Road. This is going to bring me right into the Taftville section of Norwich. It's 4:49 p.m. I still got some time on the clock here before this it gets too dark to record. There it is, Penema Mill. Those are apartments now, lofts, I think they call them. Right to the left, one of the biggest mills in the country when it was operational, probably early 1900s, maybe late 1800s, I'm not sure of the date. Shetucket Falls over there to my left. I got a really cool video on that if anybody wants to check it out. Shetucket Falls. I walk over the falls. We had this unbelievable drought a couple years back, and I walked in places that haven't been walkable for, I don't know, decades. That's how bad that drought was. So I'm in the Taftville section of Norwich right now. This is Norwich Avenue. And phase 2, you see those smaller towers to the left there? That's going to be the lofts at Penema Mills South, I believe that's called. I mean, they're not finished. They're almost finished. And I don't know how many apartments are going to be in that structure back there, or how many available, but it will be a significant amount. And housing is what's needed as we cruise down Norwich Avenue. Still in Taftville. Artistic Wire and Cable used to be right to the left. I believe it blew up at some point several years ago, a massive explosion. Not sure, the reason for that explosion. I'm sure it's documented in news stories at that time, the Norwich Bulletin, New London Day. Probably, I would assume that would have been definitely, big news in Connecticut when Artistic Wire and Cable blew up and exploded. But, newspapers.com, they may have a trial for a couple of weeks or whatever. You can look at all the stuff and you can research things on there. I mean, you can pay for it if you want to, if you do a lot of research and you want to do a monthly subscription. But I think they may have a trial. I think I did it once. I have no need to have a, archival rendering of all these newspapers. To the left is Dairy Queen. That's been there, I have no idea. Maybe since the 1960s, probably. There used to be a miniature golf course behind there. And that's obviously no longer there. Nippy's Field to the left, driving range to the left. It used to be a drive-in theater, Taftville Drive-In Theater. Huge, couple of screens, I went there. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I look at the field. It's not that big. Maybe it was one screen. But you look at it, in your imagination, it's this massive multi-acre, area. I look at it now, it's just a small field, and there was a screen as we drive up Norwich Avenue. But that screen showed a lot of movies, and people had a lot of fun back in them days. That's pre-internet. I'm entering Greenville. I am in the Greenville section of Norwich, Connecticut right now. This is Boswell Avenue. I mean, there's still some drive-in theaters left. Maybe Mansfield Drive-In. That could be still functioning as a drive-in. I'm not 100% sure, but the last time I drove past there, they were open. You got the Wonder Bar, the former Wonder Bar to the left. Somebody is rehabbing the building right now. You got vacateurs down there. I guess I'll go up Boswell. So this is just, I used to do random drives. I called them random drives. I would get in the car, drive around any old which way that I didn't know where, just driving around. This would probably fit into that category because I wanted to hone in on that giant, what I assume to be where the industrial park is going to be. I mean, what else could it be? Unless they're putting some massive housing development in there, but it seems unlikely. I'm pretty sure it's the industrial park. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. Still on Boswell. Whoa, there's that sun. I mean, that is a really... This again, the camera's not... It's probably all... You're not going to be able to see it because these cameras are only cover so much dynamic range. Yeah, this is a stop sign right in the middle of Boswell. This is kind of an unusual... I mean, they're building Greenville elementary school over there, so... But that sun, whoa! I mean, to the naked eye, that's quite a look. It's quite an interesting configuration of, weather and fog and a bright sun right in your face. I mean, it's a very, very... I may as well continue all the way down Boswell. I get a lot of Boswell Avenue coverage on this channel. I walk around. I mean, just type it into the search bar. Type my name and then Boswell Avenue. You'll get tons of... If you ever lived on Boswell Avenue, you want to see your house, I'm pretty sure I got it covered. I mean, I might have missed a few here and there, like impossible places to walk and point a camera, but I mean, I'm pretty sure the coverage I did, it was, I would consider comprehensive. And I did it more than once, too, so. Lubensky's funeral parlor on the left. But I mean, look at all this snow. It's a disaster. There's just tons of it. When this is all gone, mark my words, people are going to be thrilled. And I mean, when I say people, I mean everybody. People that just regular guys living in their house right now, and businesses. You know, imagine garbage pickup and mail people, delivery people, you know, this type of thing. So we made it to the end of Boswell Avenue. Man, oh man, this is tricky. This can be tricky because of the big giant snow banks. Let's head down right to the center of the down city. This factory to the left, it's for sale or whatever. I'd love to see somebody grab that, convert it into apartments, condos, whatever. Living space, you know, places where people can live. Oh man, I got some really aggressive drivers around here. This is Franklin Street. Right here. As is custom, I'm going to hit the rotary. I pretty much always do. Whenever I'm anywhere near this rotary, I'm on it. Or roundabout. You know, take your pick. It's called both. Either or, doesn't matter. Reed and Hughes straight in front of us. That's that rehabilitation project they did. All right, let me go around, full circle around this thing. That's custom. A lot of historic buildings in Norwich. All right, you know what I'm going to do? This is insane. I'm going to go a little bit further. I could, in theory, drive around this thing endlessly. It's a perfect circle. And we take a breather. I'm on Main Street. Right in the heart of down city of Norwich, Connecticut. If this guy presses the walk button, that could put me here for a while. Let's see who gets priority. The walker, well, he didn't get the walk signal. He's just doing it. I don't blame him. I mean, it's a red light on both sides. We're at a complete standstill. All right. Cruise down here. We have the former YMCA building. I did a video on that the other day. Check it out. I did a kind of a project update to the right-hand side there. Sometimes going left here, yeah, I'm better off with a light, because if I get an arrow, then it's a piece of cake. Burnham Square. To the left used to be the Marguerite Building. It was I don't know, back in the old days, you know, it was apartments. It was a pretty big building. There was a barber in there. I don't remember. You'd have to... Some of the folks that are older than me would be able to tell you all the businesses that were in there. But it did have a distinction of a train tunnel that went right through the building, like the basement of the building. Believe it or not, the Marguerite Building was built over a train track. This is a significant building, a large building. I used to come down, I forget when it was decades ago, but I used to come down and watch the demolition. They used, you know, kind of the old-fashioned wrecking ball technique. You know, a big lead wrecking ball they would swing into the building and just bash it to pieces, and then, pick up it was a brick building, and they pick up the bricks with, load up a bunch of trucks and haul it off. I'm now on North Main Street. And it's 5:02. It's starting to get a little darker, so I'm going to have to think about working my way back. All right, we just crossed into the Greenville section again. But I'm contemplating my route back. Well, there's Prospect Street. Let me point at this. When I turn to the left here of Prospect, very quickly, right there, that's a house I've always thought was really cool. 88. I'm not sure. I think that house is technically on Prospect Street or North Main, but it looks like the number makes it the first house on Prospect, which I'm on right now. Let me take a left. I mean, I'm still able to record what I think should be very, pleasing, visually pleasing video with regards to exposure and clarity and things of that nature, because I have a perfectly, beautiful conditions right now for recording video. And the camera will compensate for exposure, but it's, to the naked eye right now, it's getting darker. So I'm going to work my way back slowly to where I started this thing. Let me think. I mean, there's a variety of different ways I could cruise back. I'm going to take a right on Boswell here briefly. And I'm going to try to, I think, yeah, if I get up here far enough, a little bit further up the road here, I can take a left. So here's that stop sign. This time I'm coming in the other direction. So this is a very unusual, I guess big giant trucks and construction, bulldozer, whatever they use, cranes and different things. All right, here we go. Mohegan Park Road. This is what I was thinking about. Mohegan Park Road. Let's take Mohegan Park Road all the way up. Whoa, this guy's parked on a corner there. All right. So we're on Mohegan Park Road right now. You can see the roads are wet. That's just straight up melting. Everything's melting. It's not heavy duty melting. It's slow, because if you get 40 degrees, I mean, that's above freezing, but it's not. I mean, if you get a 58 degree day, you're going to get with sun, you're going to get some serious melting going on. Even then, it's going to take several days to, cut through this snow to get to the grass. And I don't know. That's just going to be. We're in this snow situation for the long haul, unfortunately. Mohegan Park Road, they dip down to 15 miles per hour on this road. We just entered Mohegan Park, so this is Mohegan Park. It feels different. I mean, this is almost like a forest. It's a miniature forest, a wooded, heavily wooded area with pine trees, variety of trees. There's trails all through this, all over the place. Really nice trails. I've walked them. You can go hiking, but you can see the windy nature and the hills. Judd Road would be to the left. This is always a notorious spot right here, because if somebody is speeding in the other direction, and I would say driving recklessly, you'd have a big problem. You could get, killed in a head-on collision. I mean, that's a spot. Anybody that knows Norwich knows exactly what I'm talking about right back there. If they've ever driven that little corner back there. You're watching this right now, you're saying, absolutely. Still Mohegan Park Road. I'm taking a left onto Wilderness Road, a very cool little road. Look at it, windy, right? I've got photographs of this. I love this. And the roads are in meticulous condition. This is all freshly paved. The sidewalks are wide and made for people to walk, hiking, walking paths that connect with trails. And I mean, there's a lot of really, Mohegan Park is an absolute gem. I've said it a million times on these drives. Mohegan Park is a diamond, a flawless canary diamond in the dead center, heart of Norwich. If you live in Norwich and you don't take advantage of Mohegan Park, man, oh man, you are making a big mistake. That's not my opinion. That's a fact. Let me drive down here. 15 miles per hour. Now, there's a lot of pine trees right through this little strip right here. I love this area. Another spot I've done quite a bit of photography. You can get some really cool shots. There's a person with his hazard lights on. I don't know what that's all about. I'm going to turn around down here. 15 miles per hour. I like it. Yeah, the Norwich Dog Pound is down here. I could take a drive down there, but well, this is one of the roads that's not in meticulous condition like the other ones. Okay, to the right now. There's a couple of cars down there. I gotta get out of here. The Dog Pound is to the right over there. So I'm going to turn around. It's so narrow down there. If I went down there, it'd be real tough. There's a couple of trucks or cars down there, so I don't want to. Kind of tight in here. You can hear me backing into snow. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's definitely tighter than a drum. Let's see if I can make it. Whew. That's very narrow. Very, very narrow. Pull into this parking lot. See if I can get a look at anything. Well, you park here, you enter the park. There's multiple entrances to this thing right here. It's kind of a fancy gate. Way in the distance there's Spalding Pond. I have a video of that. I did a couple of Mohegan Park videos where I covered Spalding Pond from kind of different vantage points when it was really frozen over. And there's kind of a nice shot of that. We're going to be driving through there again. Get a load of those pine trees right there. Off in the distance. Straight, thin pine trees. I mean, straight as an arrow. That's very interesting. But yeah, Mohegan Park's an absolute gem. 5:12 p.m. right now. Nobody coming. The road narrows just ahead. All right, this is that cool area I was talking about a minute ago. Those pine trees. Look at that. Nice. And again, over to the left of the sidewalk, there's a couple of pull-off areas here. People, like to back in there or whatever, or just pull in, have lunch or whatever. Bring your lunch, grab some, this local takeout or whatever. Bring it up here. You're in the middle of nature. It's kind of cool. And then you throw a rock and you can hit Kelly Middle School. One minute you're in the middle of a forest, the next minute you're at Kelly Junior High, or, it's now called Kelly Middle School. I'll give you a super wide view of it. And pull into this parking lot. Look, right there. Super wide view. Way off in the distance, Kelly Middle School. And that track in the foreground is a soccer field and a track. It's a 1/4 mile, and it's going to be completely redone, top to bottom, state of the art. I believe this year. The money's there. It's going to be done. This is John Edwards Drive. I'm going to take a left onto Mohegan Drive. A lot of athletic fields and different things up here. These are brand new right here, so probably as close as I ever got to these things. Right there. Men's room, women's room. Now that's new. And it's important. This parking lot is new. This was dirt for as long as ever since I was a kid. It's forever. This is the first time it was a real legit parking lot. If we can see over the snow, that is a brand new, top-of-the-line tennis court. It used to be clay courts. They got rid of the clay courts. They put a conventional tennis court in there. Straight ahead of me is Dickenman Field. Back in the old days, they called it Rec Field. So you got tennis, you have baseball, you have soccer. And then over here you got Bob Spain, you got the Robert W. Spain basketball courts right there. There's a 1, 2, 3 full court situation right there. I mean, I've seen some guys up here that can play basketball big time. Local kids, and depends on the age. Sometimes you get younger kids, sometimes you get a little older. But I'm going to take a little bit different route here. But that's, there's a lot of athletic fields and courts and track. I mean, they all the bases are covered. All right, let's go up. What is this? Montgomery Lane. Right here. Some really cool houses on Montgomery Lane. The one to the right, that big brick ranch. Probably built in the 50s, early 60s maybe. Circular Drive was another real nice house. That's made out of brick, believe it or not. It's painted, but it's brick home. .516 as the minutes tick down. Darkness descends on Norwich. Reynolds Road. Let's get on this thing. We got to be careful of deer. See that sign to the right? Deer crossing. And it happens too. Wow, there we go. Somebody is running up Reynolds Road. I mean, that's hardcore. That was part of the Rose Arts race years ago. I don't know if it still is, but Amby Burfoot, some of the legendary guys that ran in the Rose Arts. You talk to them about this hill, they'll tell you, rough situation. Let's get a look at, I'm actually going in a do not enter area. Take a look at NFA in the distance right there. I mean, I'm on kind of an angle. This is kind of it's not leveled off, but that's pretty cool. I mean, we got to look through a fence, but Slater Tower, that beautiful Slater Museum. It's all there. Back onto Reynolds Road very briefly, because Reynolds Road morphs right into McKinley Avenue Extension, which is right here. Off in the distance there is St. Pat's Cathedral steeple or tower, or I guess it would be a technical name would be steeple. I'm going to turn right on Rockwell. I'm going to follow Rockwell all the way down to the end. Take a right on Broadway. And we'll look at some of the beautiful homes on Broadway, directly in front of us. Another big steeple, Park Congregational Church to the right. Chelsea Parade right there in front of us, right there. Rose Arts Festival is still held there. It was back in the old days, the 70s or whatever. They had some of the greatest bands in America perform there live. I mean, you get guys like, this Tony Orlando and Dawn, I don't know, 1972, 73, somewhere back there. Had a hit, #1 in the country, Tie a Yellow Ribbon Around the Old Oak Tree. They had a bunch of hits, but they had their own variety show on TV. They were huge. They headlined down here under a tent. I mean, it was a Rose Arts Festival, but it was under a tent. No air conditioning. I mean, these guys, it was a molten hot conditions. I remember one of the Four Tops, the original Four Tops, legendary band. 4 singers, like incredible soul music or whatever. Rhythm and blues. It was phenomenal. One of the guys fainted on stage. It was that hot. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. It was, imagine yourself under a tent in July or whenever they held that festival. 90-something degree humid, sun beating down. I mean, it's, whoa. That was interesting. I'm on Fanning Avenue right now. Let me take a right down here. They were working on a building down here to the left. Let me see how they're coming along. And it's still working on it. This heavy equipment down there. I mean, it's looking good. Let me turn in here. So this is some kind of I don't know what it is, state run or something, danger, keep out, all this. But right there, I think it's mental health services for young kids. Again, it's something that can be If anybody's interested, you can research it. No, they're fixing this up top to bottom. Let me get another view of this thing. If I go up here and turn around, this doctor's office is all over the place around here. Because Bacchus Hospital is... All right, what's in here? Fanning Dental Care Family Dentistry right there. Let's see if I can get that in. We still got some light. And the next building is... It's just doctor's offices everywhere. But I want to kind of hone in on this building a little bit. Clinic Drive, that's a good name for it. A lot of clinics and, you know, okay, right there. So that's been redone. Let me see if I can pull into this place. I mean, this is... I definitely did not plan on doing this today, but... So they're rehabbing the building right there. Hopefully I'm getting some of it in. Nice windows and air conditioning. And let me get back. There's a good view before the construction's completed. All right. 5 Clinic Drive, Jan Akis, MD, straight ahead. Cool building. I got to get right up to that thing. That's a cool, small, unique... Right there. I mean, I don't know if Dr. Akis is still practicing, to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know if he's retired. There's a really cool museum to the right there. It is a Sikh art gallery. Definitely worth checking out. I mean, I have a variety of ways I can get back to Norwich town. I mean, technically, this could be... I'm not sure if this is Norwich town or not, but... Once I hit Washington Street down here, that could be considered Norwich town. But all doctors' offices to my right and to the left is Bacchus Hospital. This is Lafayette Street. So it is definitely, it's 524. It's definitely getting a little bit on the dark side. So I gotta kind of, I'm gonna roll back to where I began this video. We'll shut things down. I mean, this is a kind of a wild and woolly drive I took here. I covered a lot of territory. As we wait for the red light to turn green, which I can pretty much guarantee at some point it will. I was on Warwick Street not that long ago, and the light was malfunctioning. So I was at a red light trying to get onto West Town Street, and it literally never turned green. Like, when I say never, after, I don't know, 8 minutes, you're kind of... You're thinking to yourself, somehow I don't think this is going to work out in my favor. So that... I ended up turning right on red, which you could do, and whatever. I turned around in a parking lot somewhere. Commuter parking lot. And Washington Street goes to the right there, but this is Town Street right now. So I am now on Town Street. Goodyear Tire, and they fix cars, they do repairs. Variety of businesses all over the place, left and right. But it's getting dark very rapidly. See, now we've reached the point of things look okay on the camera, but within the next, I don't know, 5 minutes, things will start to look unacceptable or just too dark to be a, visually pleasing experience. You can probably see the light from my headlights shining on the back of this Toyota in front of me. And the sky is bright enough where it's throwing off enough light that I can, get decent video. To the right, Norwich Town Green, straight in front of me. First Congregational Church in Norwich. To the left, Johnson Home. Meeting House rocks to the right. I got a video, I walk right up that thing. Meeting House rocks on the ground. Crazy thing about that Meeting House rock video, I shot it twice. The first time I shot it, the camera, it was a different, kind of camera you can walk around with. It was, I'm not saying malfunctioning, but the settings were, it was a tilted, everything looked tilted. So I went back the same day and reshot the whole thing. I really wanted to get that Meeting House rock video, and I'm going to do more on the ground walking around stuff, but I got to wait for this snow situation to correct itself. I mean, there's a lot of areas I'd love to go, but it's just not feasible right now. 5:29, 37 degrees, according to the bank back there. As we wait patiently on West Town Street in the Norwich Town section of Norwich, Connecticut, in the United States of America, for the red light to turn green. And do we mind waiting? No. When you get to a red light, you just chill out. You got a break. You don't have to do heavy concentration on road conditions and potholes and where you're going to drive and cars passing you or not using their signals. And you're just going to sit there and relax for a minute or two. We got another relaxation. Another relaxation light, red light right here. A relaxation opportunity, let's put it that way, has presented itself. And I'm going to take full advantage of it as it strikes 5:31 p.m. See that? A little patience. Bingo, you're done. Rosemont Suites to my right, Courtyard at Marriott to my right. I'm taking a right. This is where I started things off on Plain Hill Road. I actually was heading in the other direction. One of the rare times I didn't come down the hill. I went up in the opposite direction. But it's too dark. We've reached the point now where things probably look okay to you guys. I mean, it's, again, acceptable. But we're probably minutes away from that sensor being put in a position where it just can't handle the lack of light. So just up ahead is where things started, so I'm going to shut it down. This video is over.